Hi, Monique.
Hi.
And we got Cheri. Amazing.
Hi.
Um, Congratulations, both of you, on Turkey's Done. It really is a wonderful short film.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you.
So I had a question. Four of you are credited as the writers, and I just wanted to know what that process is like writing with four people.
Well,
It really
go ahead,
was
Cheri.
like it went through a film, and then to write the short about the film, the long version of the film, and what the girls chose to concentrate on was my character,
Mhm.
and so in doing that, the four of us, we got together, and it was really fun, you know um to because there already was a bit of a structure there. So we just had to come in and concentrate on this one character, and we kind of like magnified her world.
Yeah. That makes so much sense that it came from something larger because it does feel like you see it like Google Maps and then it just like zooms
Exactly.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Monique, anything you want to say about the writing process?
I mean, we had so much fun. There was consistent laughter throughout all of the writing, and ideas were just being bounced back and forth and off of each other. And then Sherry would get up and act the scene out for us. So then we would laugh again.
Um,
So it was just always a really fun time, and we just made it better and better as the rewrites,
And
obviously,
because we all knew the world so well,
right?
yeah.
it was it made it easier. You know,
Yeah. All of you are from South Philadelphia,
I'm
right?
not from. I'm from
Okay.
like Upper Darby, Pennsylvania, just outside of Philly. Um,
Got it. Got it.
but
Got it.
the other girls are from South Philly.
But Sherry's family comes from South Philly,
Yeah,
so she
on
knew
my
that
Italian
world.
side. On my
Yeah.
Italian side, and oh, I always thought South Philly was so cool. I couldn't believe the way they spoke. Like I couldn't believe they had such a strong accent, and
So strong.
yeah, it was, and just their mannerism. And when I would go down with my grandmother, go to South Philly with my grandmother, when I was a kid, I felt like I was this whole world is so magical unto itself. Everybody's playing ball in the street. All the kids are playing ball in the street, and everybody's homes were like tiny, tiny row homes. But when you walk in, you think you're walking into into a mansion. The way everybody decorated and stuff like that. It was such a world that was so different from where I lived that I ate it up,
Hmm.
and I understood what it was like. Especially I take a lot from my grandmother, who's from South Philly. So yeah.
Got it. So an inspiration for Peaches was slightly your grandmother.
Yes, and every woman I met through her from South Philly. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That is so cool. Well, this is a good transition then to talk about just how both of your experiences as people from South Philadelphia, I'm gesturing because you're over here, Monique, to me. From South Philadelphia or Pennsylvania, having family in South Philadelphia, how that and coming from that community inspired this world and inspired your work in Turkey's Done. Monique, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, and Jen, Crystal, and I are from South Philly. Sherry knows the world, obviously. And when we left South Philly, we realized where we were from was very different than any other place we'd ever been before in our life.
Yeah.
And that made us, really connect, obviously, from where we're from and what we hold true and all the traditions that we hold. Not just being from South Philly, but being Italian from South Philly.
Yeah.
So those traditions really connect us, obviously, with our neighborhood, and everybody's there for everyone. The neighbors are like family,
Hmm.
and that was important to us. And that's what we love to show. That's what we love to show in this film.
I really got that. I hopefully everyone watching has seen the whole thing. Spoilers if you haven't. I really loved the end of the short when everyone gets together and you really see how the bickering and the name calling throughout the entire film, that's because they're a family. It's because they love each other. Was the ending of the short always going to be like everyone getting together for a big Thanksgiving dinner?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We wanted to show that those neighbors, a lot of these neighbors you grow up with your entire life, and they know you sometimes better than your own family, so they are family. And we couldn't let our peaches go back with Dino.
And what's so funny is, like, there's no such thing as none of your business. Everything is everybody's business. And it's like, that's pretty clear. I don't know if anybody says none of your business. Everybody's business is everybody else's business. So, and I experienced it when I was a little girl in Atlantic City before they had the casinos. It was all South Philly people. And I went down there, down the shore, and every street was South Philly. Everybody's grandmother lived with them, and and I learned so much from that. That's how I really picked up a lot of the South Philly. I fell in love with a guy named Rocky, of course, from South Philly. He broke my heart. And
Rocky, no.
Yeah, his real name was Rocky. And he broke my heart, but it was, I really got the feel of what it's like to live in South Philly just from living on that street, being on that street, and everybody being from South Philly. And essentially, that's where I got the thing when I was on SNL of my Italian mother on the porch saying, I keep it now, because I remember every kids were playing ball in the street, and then if a ball landed on a woman's porch who was like a busybody, she'd be like, okay, you got the whole street to play ball on, but you got to play in front of my house. I keep it now. Have your mother come get it. But it's really, they just want to police the street. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If there's just activity, and the kids got to wait to get the ball back, whatever. But so yeah, that's a lot where I got kind of the essence of this community as well.
Wow. When you cast this, aside from Cheri, were those all South Philly actors or like Philadelphia area actors? How did you cast this?
No, Al Sapienza, who a lot of people know from Sopranos, is from New York. And also Vic DiBitetto is originally from Brooklyn. So we knew Al from working previously. Jennifer, Crystal, and I knew him from before. And him and Cheri just, it was lovely.
My friend Jackie, who helped.
Yes, and Jackie, that's right. And then with Vic, we just, he's a hilarious comic, and we just kept on seeing his videos, and he just felt right for it. He was just hilariously funny. And when we approached him, when we said that, Cheri was starring in this, he immediately said, yes, I will be there. So having all of, everyone come together was pretty amazing.
The casting, I mean, it's so specific. All of those characters every single person is so different. And also, I mean, I can tell it was created from a perspective of people who know and are part of this community, because everything is so specific. What was it like shooting in a community that you grew up in, Monique?
Well, for us, we obviously felt right at home. And if it wasn't for South Philly, that's where we raised all the funds. Most, about 95% of it came from our neighborhood. And when we got there and people heard we were shooting this film, they were donating food. They were donating anything that they could, things off their back if they could, their time. Councilmen got involved, helping us get permits. So literally what happened in the film happened while we were making the movie. And Jennifer, Crystal, Cheri, and I are still blown away by everything that South Philly has done for us.
I got chills when you said that. That is so cool. Oh my gosh.
And trust me, just like nosy neighbors, they were out all day watching us film on the street.
Oh, and then how about when they would yell? Like they would yell, and it's like the camera's going, but they were getting into it. You know what I mean? And it's almost like cut. Honey, you can't yell anything. We don't. But it was very funny. It was very funny.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh. I love it. Okay, so Cheri, at what point did you get involved in the project?
Well, Jen gave me the script to read, and she had, these guys had written it kind of based on their upbringing, and then I had written a movie based on my childhood, and so we read each other's scripts, and then she said we want to do a short to try and sell the movie, and I was telling her, I think you need to concentrate on the young couple, the young, the story. And because I was just looking at it like, you want to get this sold. Everybody, it's all about, and this is a terrible thing to say, but it's all about youth. All about youth, all about youth, all about youth. And
but we didn't believe her, and then we made her do it. Well, she wanted to do it.
Yeah, and then they were like, no, we want to concentrate on your character. We want to concentrate on your character. And so in getting to develop that Peach's whole storyline with them, it became I really got into it.
Yeah. I'm really glad that, I mean, I loved the young couple, but I love seeing women above the age of like 35 in characters and getting to dive into that. I think it's important.
It's sad that I got to a point where I was just like, no, you guys, you want to concentrate on the young couple, and it, because I've just been through it, and then when they were like, no, we really want to concentrate on Peaches, and I was just like, okay, and I was glad, but I was really wanting it to work for them as well.
Yeah. How do you two know each other?
I was living in where these guys were living. I was going to sell my house and I wasn't sure. So I rented it to see how I felt. I wanted to sell it or not, but I wanted to get away. And so renting it enabled me to be able to, and I ended up staying away. It was supposed to be a year, 3 years. And, but it was wonderful because I met the girls, and I did 2 creative projects from people I met in the building.
Wow.
And it's funny because, when you're an actor or any kind of thing, people or know you, everybody wants you to read a script, and this time I actually did, because they were right there.
Right.
They were in the building,
You're going to see them if you don't read it.
Right.
We weren't letting her go, period.
Yeah.
Once we met her, Jennifer had called me. I was working at the time, and she called me in work, and she goes, "You're never going to believe who I met." And I'm like, "Who?" And she said, "Cheri Oteri." And I was like, "Okay." And I hung up on Jennifer, and she called me back, and she's like, "I'm serious. I met Cheri Oteri." And then when I came home that night, they told me the story, and here we are.
And how I met her was, we were both walking our dogs in this park, and I heard her accent. And I said, "Are you from South Philly?" And she goes, "Yeah." And I said, "Yeah, I could tell by your accent." And so, and I said, "Or I'm just outside of," she probably knew all this, whatever, but I was just like she said something like, she called the dog mommy.
And you knew.
And, and I could tell by her accent when she goes, "What's the matter, mommy? What do you need, mommy? Go pee pee, mommy," whatever. And then I was just like, because my grandmom, she would call us when we were children, mommy.
Wow.
"What's the matter, mom? What's the matter, mom? Why are you holding yourself? Do you have to go to the bathroom? No. Why are you holding yourself? Because it feels good. Stop it. Go wash your hands." way that my grandma was always obsessed. Mommy, why are you holding yourself? You have to go to the bathroom? No. Go anyway. Stop holding yourself. But it was, even my dad would call my little brother, and it's something that doesn't make sense, but he was like, what's the matter, Dad? What's the matter, Dad? You know, so that's what I heard. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And it's so endearing. It just warmed my heart because it brought me back to my grandma, you know, and here's this young girl saying it. And then we just said, all right, well, nice to meet you and blah, blah, blah. But it was our dogs, because then I would see her again at the park.
Wow. It's amazing how the people we're supposed to work with, you find each other, you know? I think that's so special.
Yeah.
Monique, I was really happy to hear that you co-directed this with Jennifer, because I'm about to co-direct for the first time. How do you co-direct with a person? Tell us how to do
Number
that.
one, congratulations to you. That's amazing.
Thanks.
Jennifer and I had worked together a lot in the past
Mhm.
on films. We both were executive assistants for Barbara Streisand. So we worked in the same office very closely in a very high-paced office.
Got it.
So we were working off of each other consistently. And we knew each other's strengths and we knew each other's weaknesses. And when it came time, you know, for filming, you know, one would talk to the actors and show blocking, and we would look over shots and things like that. And we also wrote this together, and this world,
Right.
obviously, we both knew very well. So my advice would be on the same page and prep as much as you can. And when you get there, it just becomes a dance, and
Yeah.
it'll all work out.
Okay, thanks. I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah.
Y'all are still friends, I take it. You still
Yes.
like each other?
Yes,
Great.
it was posted.
Okay, I will. Kind of diving back into the story, something that I was really moved by that surprised me was Peach's connection to the Adore Me makeup brand, and how I think these MLMs, these like multi-level marketing companies that get these local people to like sell to their community, it's so easy to make it a joke. And I loved how in Turkey's Done, it's a source of strength for her. Can you speak a little bit about that and where that idea came from and how the MLM informs the character of Peaches?
I think when you grow up in a middle class, working class neighborhood, you have a lot of blue collar, and for Peaches, it was her corporation, her climbing the ladder, you know, because she really got into it. And you see by all the boxes and everything like that, she's not just dabbling, she's invested. And it was a source of pride for her because, as you know, she says she put everything, like a lot of women do, aside for their husbands. And while he was away in jail, she had this. And, you know, and it gave her a source of pride. And I love it. And the funny thing was, when we came up with it, I remember when we came up with it in Jen's apartment, and the funny thing was, Dale was there, and it was just so funny to say "adore me." It even sounds South Philly. Adore me. Then after that, it comes up. What about it, Monique? Adore me.
Adore me. And we had to add something. Yeah.
It came later, like it came after us, and it's like, oh my God.
Did they take our idea, Cheri?
That sounds like it to me.
They might have.
Well, and I loved how it tied into what Peaches wants from Dino and what she's not getting from him that she needs. It just really all checked out in a very good way. It was really, I loved that. So Cheri, you trained with the Groundlings, and how does training in character-based improv, like they do at the Groundlings, inform your work today?
Well, it really, you have to, in the Groundlings, you have to write and you have to create your characters. And that was my strong suit, was characters in writing. I was not the best improviser.
Mhm.
Improvising, you really have to trust yourself, and I'm not going to do that. I am not going to trust myself. I like to prepare,
Yeah.
and so, but it enabled me to be able to take care of myself once I got on SNL. I never thought I was, I never thought in a million years. Um, I moved to Los Angeles to get in the music business. I worked at A&M Records. And
Wow.
then I took these classes and my world just opened up. I would have never dreamt so big, ever.
Yeah.
And then when I kept making it through the courses, I was like, wait a minute, wait a minute. And people were getting dropped and and I was just like, I think I might be good at this. And
Right.
then, but the greatest thing it is you learn to write for yourself, right? You
Mhm.
learn to develop these characters and you learn to improvise. So it was the best training to be on SNL. Not that we're not allowed to improvise, in SNL, but it's whenever I'm on a set or if I do something, I'm so trained to make the lines better, but you have to be
Yeah.
careful. Some people they'll say to me, and feel free to, change up the dialogue. You mean write for free?
Right.
So I write for free a lot, and it's like, feel free to, but
That's why people love improvisers, because they're gonna make the dialogue better.
and that's why sometimes when I'm on a set, when the dialogue is amazing,
Mhm.
I am like a kid in a candy store. And I say to the writers, like, I can't wait to see these words. I can't wait to see these words.
There's
It's
there's nothing like good writing. It's
Mhm.
Speaking of good writing. Oh, go ahead, Sherry.
No. Oh, go ahead.
Well, speaking of good writing, I thought that Turkey's Done walked the line between comedy and really being grounded emotionally. And how did you strike that balance, Sherry, in your performance and writing it, and Monique in writing and directing it? Just striking that balance between comedy and larger than life characters, and also like really being grounded realistically emotionally.
I wanted to make her real,
Yeah.
not just a character, and to have a pathos, to have how is she, and I wanted to make it real. I could have made it jokey through the whole thing, but I just thought, I felt her disappointment.
Oh my
I
gosh.
felt her disappointment. And it was just like, oh, what? Like, I did all of this and all of this and all of this for this. And for me not to pay off that disappointment that I felt, you know, would have been, I think, I don't know. I loved to give it, I loved being able to give it that depth,
Yeah.
you know? So
Yeah.
we could have, kind of made it funny all the way through and not, but I just felt like I could see, she's losing it. She's gonna cry.
Yeah.
She's had it, and she's so disappointed because she loves him.
Yeah.
Don't get
You
me started.
really got that. No, you really got that, this is a tragedy. It's sad. I was never worried if she was going to be okay. Like, I believe Peaches has better things ahead for her. But I know also that she's gone through something huge and it has been betrayed. And I just love the way that you
And
played that.
people can relate to that too. You know what I'm saying? So I love it's like you can relate to the comedy, or you don't relate to comedy, but you'll relate to feeling like you've done everything
Yeah.
and you get let down, and it is just like motherfucker.
Yeah.
So I wanted it to have those levels, and lucky
Mhm.
for us, we were able to do it that way.
Yeah. Monique, anything you wanted to add to that?
We wanted to show the world, of South Philly and how specific it is, but
Mhm.
as specific as it is, it does translate, obviously, to people all over. I mean, we took it to the film festival in Canada, and that was, one of the first film festivals we took it to, and it was such a great, feeling to have it there with Canadians, because you don't know if that is going to translate to other parts of the country. And I love the scenes, actually. Of course, I love Cheri as she's one of the funniest people I ever met in my life. But, those moments where, she got so raw, people were like, I wasn't expecting that. And I love that about our film. And people from South Philly are very literal sometimes, that it is funny. So I think we showed a little of that. Obviously, it's a little bit, high on emotion, especially when it comes to Italians. So I feel like we did our best to show all of that and how it translates, obviously not just within South Philly and Italians, but to everyone else. So.
And you know what?
Oh yeah.
Give it heart. We wanted to give it heart.
Right.
And it deserved it.
It did.
You know what I mean, they're not just characters. These are people with these, just incredible, beautiful lives and their struggle. And, I wanted to really make it like relatable.
Mm. So we're coming to the end of our time together. The turkey's not done.
It's not done.
We're going to get it into an oven soon.
It's gonna percolate in the juices. It's gonna be delicious. What's next? Does it have a forever home yet? I know you mentioned a larger movie. What's the plan?
Yeah, well, right now, if someone didn't see it here, they can watch it on Vimeo on demand or Shorts TV. And there's still always talks of the feature film getting done as well.
I really hope this gets made into a feature, because I think it would do so well. And
it would be such a fun Thanksgiving movie, because there's not that many Thanksgiving movies. You know what I mean?
So true. That's so true. Yeah. Release it like end of October, going into the holiday season.
It starts it off. It starts it off.
Oh. Okay. How can people follow up on the work that you are doing? Anything you want to plug that's coming out around the bend for either of you?
I've been pitching a television show that I just got a wonderful production company to say we want it. And it's funny. You can't just be an actress. You've got to go out. You've got to create your own stuff. You have to pitch. It's like, wow. Yeah, it makes it a tough business, but it makes you can't rest.
Yeah. I totally agree.
So it's so good that you're doing the directing and having your foot in different aspects of it. It just, you're more prepared. So here I did, writing this with other people, pitching it, and then it's such a damn process. And once you get a production company involved, then we shape it to then sell it to a platform, television, or streaming network. And it's like such a long process. But like my grandma used to, whenever I said, "Oh yeah, I did this project. What channel?" And I'm like, oh my God. I remember one time I said I was doing a Friends pilot. She told everybody I was going to be on Friends back in the 90s. And they want to know what channel. So it's kind of like, people say, what are you working on? I just kind of leave it real general, really general,
Got it.
But, it's wonderful. Now that the pandemic is hopefully coming, people are getting out. But Zoom has changed everything as well. I mean, I wonder how many people aren't going to go back to, having to meet in person.
Yeah.
But Monique, go ahead, you talk.
No, I was just going to say, if you want to follow Turkey's Done and our journey, obviously all the social media outlets, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, we're all there. And all right, fingers crossed for all future projects and for COVID to be over.
Yes.
Amen. Thank you so, so much, both of you. Turkey's Done is an incredible film, and I can't wait to see more from both of you. So thanks so much.
You did a very good job.
Yeah, you're amazing.
Oh my gosh, this is my first Q&A. Thank you.
Really, Anna, that you killed it. You